So excited to bring in our next guest and our first guest on this Monday morning to talk about all the exciting things happening in Rochester. Kristin Trevarrow joins us here on the MegaCast. She's the executive director for the Downtown Development Authority for Rochester. Great to have you with us, Kristin. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You are such a creative person. How have you been, though, in the middle of the pandemic? Has it helped inspire new ideas, or were you sidelined in the beginning like the rest of us?
You know, honestly, we came right out of the gate with some new ideas and new things because we knew that this book was unwritten and we really didn't have much of a choice, to be honest. So we really tried hard to do some new things. We wrote out a whole new brand right at the beginning of the pandemic called Love Local Rochester that really caught fire for us, and that helped fund a lot of things that we did. We did merchandise with it on because there was such demand, but it brought our community together under that little rallying cry of Love Local Rochester, and it really meant something, and it's been carrying us through this last year. I mean, our downtown certainly wasn't unaffected, but we really hardly lost any businesses during that time. And I attribute a lot to that, to the hard work that our team put in.
So with that as well, I love local Rochester. That really is a great slogan. But how has it been as we've gone month after month after month? Because in the beginning, there was so much support for local. Yeah. Are you still seeing it, or is it starting to fade a little bit?
You know, honestly, we've been really excited to say that it hasn't waned at all. And actually, a lot of people are still been doubling down on local. I think that, you know, they say, I think it's like it takes 6 months to change a habit. I think that over the pandemic, maybe people that weren't always 100% on downtown Rochester thinking of us first for shopping or dining or what have you, they changed that mindset because they knew that they loved downtown. It was something they wanted to see continue and be preserved. And so they kept showing up for us during the pandemic, and they're continuing to do it now. And any events that we've been doing, we've had record crowds. They're continuing to show up for us.
Wow, that is incredible. So if we could talk as we go into the summer months, because we do know typically for so many communities that are walkable communities, the summer really is, you know, the backbone of, the economy for the entire year. So how is it looking in the summertime, and what events do you have going on and coming up?
Yeah, this is our first big week of the summer where we're doing a lot of events. So we actually have our sidewalk sales. It's our 66th annual sidewalk sales happening this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in downtown. And then in addition to that, we have our Dancing in the Street concert on Friday night. On Saturday, we kick off with our farmers market, continue sidewalk sales all day, and then we have our movies in the moonlight that night.
That's a lot to juggle.
It's a lot. We call it our summer Thunderdome. So we have a holiday one as well, but this is our busiest week of the summer.
So how do you anticipate is going to be, received from the community? Still, again, record numbers?
You know, honestly, we've been getting a lot of calls. A lot of people asking questions about Dancing in the Street specifically, because that's on one specific street. It is going to be a larger crowd, like you were talking about, for faster horses and things like that. It's going to be definitely people together, and people are asking, what are the provisions? Are there tables? What's this? What's that? We're trying to keep things as normal as possible. We are, of course, people have the opportunity with every event that we do. They can space it out. They can come and spend as little or as much time as they like. We're trying to make sure that we have as many opportunities for people to come at their comfort level and do what they want to do and still be able to enjoy our downtown.
Yeah, that's one of the hard things right now coming out of the pandemic. Well, we hope we're coming out of the pandemic, is trying to gauge the comfort level of so many various different people, because we do know pretty much in the beginning the mandates in a way made it easier.
It did to a point. They got a little confusing as we went through, not knowing what was right. And then a lot of people just, their comfort level ebbed and flowed as information came available, where the cases numbers were, everything like that. What we've been trying to do is make sure that we have a mix, so that we do have the events like a Dancing in the Street or movies in the moonlight for people that are comfortable and want to just feel normal and do what we do. At the same time, we've been doing more promotionally based things that people, it's not a finite period of time, but they can come at their leisure. They can do it online if they want, or they can come in person. And so we've been trying to have those parallel tracks, because we want to make sure that whether they can come in person or not, that they still feel part of our community.
We're talking with Kristin Trevarrow. She's the executive director for the Rochester DDA, the Downtown Development Authority. And Kristin, you mentioned sidewalk sales, which, I have a retail background and it was always a big event. But I wonder, how is it going to be this year? Because we've also changed our shopping habits throughout the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have. And what we've noticed downtown is that it really forced a lot of our small businesses to step up with their online presence, which they hadn't done before. So I think that some of them do still have that going, and that's great. But people love to come in person. That was one of the things when retail was able to open back up last year. People that had kept an online presence, had kept a social media presence during the shutdown, they said when they opened their door, they had a line out the door that people wanted to come in. So we know that we have, I think it's about 40 plus businesses that are setting up tents outside that people can do their shopping outdoors, which is a great thing for us in the summertime with what's going on, telling people they can just stay outdoors, which is great. A lot of people are doing indoor sidewalk sales, which is fine too. But like I said, we've had a lot of positive response of people wanting to feel normal, do what they normally do. They still support us online, support our businesses online, but they like still coming out because it makes them feel like everything's back to the way it was.
Amazon makes it easy, especially with the one click. You just hit it and things magically appear on my porch. It's amazing how that happens. But I will say, when you actually want unique gifts, there's nothing like going into a store and just browsing, because you find things you would never find. And that really, to me, is the stuff that you look around your house that you cherish more.
I don't disagree with that at all. And especially for Rochester, we're in a unique position because we're mostly boutiques down here that are all family owned. We don't have a lot of chain things. So exactly what you're saying. So the things that people are coming shopping at market and bringing into their shops are things that they know that their customers are going to appreciate and like. And it's kind of like back in the day, they used to call it the mailbox moment, that you're so excited when you got to open your mailbox and see what that cool piece of mail was. I think it's the same thing. It's sort of switched now from that Amazon moment to that retail moment back again, our Main Street moment, if you will, that people like to come and have that moment, see their friends, if people know them by name, they get to get that fun shopping bag with their special purchase they can't wait to take home. I think people have come back around that they like that one-on-one again, whereas people maybe before everything happened were going more for the online. It is convenient, absolutely. People are still going to shop online, but I still think that Main Street moment is there.
So, Kristin, I have a secret to tell you. I'm one of those people that when I go to the mailbox now, if there's nothing fun in it, I close it and I don't take anything out. And I wait and let my husband go get all the mail. But if I'm expecting something like, if I ordered something from Etsy or Poshmark or something, then I'll check it. But otherwise, no. And I literally close the mailbox and put the stuff back in.
I support that. That's fair.
Because back in the day we used to get magazines too, and those have kind of gone by the wayside. Although because I ordered so many in the past, I have some that are like just popping up in my mailbox. I think they're trying to get people to buy them again. Hey, but if we can ask about going back to the sidewalk sales, how has the supply chain been for some of the businesses?
They've been okay, only because being boutique, they really go to a lot of smaller operations too. A lot of them are not bringing things in from overseas, that they're going and shopping from local people in California, in Atlanta, things like that. So we haven't had too much of an impact from that right now. We've been pretty good, but I know that's something we might still see coming in the future. But we've been okay.
Kristin Trevarrow with us here on the MegaCast. Again, she's with the Rochester Downtown Development Authority. Tell us more about Movies in the Moonlight.
So Movies in the Moonlight, we do that in our farmers market parking lot. We're kicking ours off this Saturday night. So we tell people it's BYOC, bring your own chair. We'll have fresh popcorn out there. Saturday night we'll be showing Aladdin. Which will be a fun one for the kids. Our sponsor that night, which is Red Piano Music Studio, they're going to be doing a drum circle with songs from Aladdin, and people can just bring a blanket, bring pillows, bring their chairs, whatever they want to do, and just pop up in the farmers market parking lot and watch a movie, and it's free.
So as someone who, gets to help plan some of these events, how worried are you about the weather?
Yeah, weather's evil. We don't like it. So
and Mother Nature seems like she's been bipolar, right?
Oh my goodness. And that's what I was saying is like, it's not like we just have sprinkles of rain anymore. We have torrential grab your children type of rain lately. And it's concerning. But the other thing we know about living in Michigan is that you can look at the forecast all day as it's going to rain. And then all of a sudden sunny skies. So we always keep an eye on it. And so we do have some concerns, but we wait until the actual game moment before we would make any decisions.
How important are these events to some of these businesses to help them continue to survive? Because let's say they made it through the worst of the pandemic, it's still not business as usual for so many of them.
Yeah, I mean, these special events, that's a fabric of our downtown and many downtowns for that matter, is having those special events that certainly we can try to draw people down on non-event days, but it's a lot easier when there's fun things happening in town. You've got this great vibe going. And so they can go to the different shops and grab something. They can go get an ice cream cone. It's the whole experience that we're packaging. So any event that we can do for the businesses is super important. At the same time, I think that things like Movies of the Moonlight, which are a little bit more community-based, that is more that we are trying to ring registers and help our businesses, but we're still trying to be that hub for our community so that everyone can start coming back together and healing.
Well, and two, we've realized throughout this pandemic, it's our shops and our stores that make all of our communities unique, especially a place like Rochester, because it's kind of a destination place. Even if you don't live in Rochester, people come there from all over to experience that. And do you think it's going to change the mindset for some of these families to really start taking advantage of some of these programs that are right here in our own backyard?
I think you're 1,000% correct. I think a lot of people, maybe they didn't think about it at the time, but people have really kind of reassessed and reevaluated. And anything that we've put out there that's been family oriented, they've been showing up. They've been wanting to do that. They're asking for more of it. And we're happy to deliver it.
Plus, we know right now if you even try to travel and you go up north or wherever people typically go, it is costing so much money right now. I think I saw a study like hotel rooms are up like 45% because people are starting to travel. So this is really a great way, like stay home, staycations, right? We heard it all last year and make it a routine now.
Yes, definitely. I think some people went away maybe for 4th of July for the first time being away that weekend, but they're back now and they're ready to start spending some local time.
So tell us about some other events that you have planned coming up in the months ahead.
Sure. So we have next month, we have Junk in the Trunk coming up, which is our community resale event. One of my favorite event names ever. It's people. Oh my God. I know, it's awesome, isn't it? So people literally will sell out of the back of their car, if you will, and it's great for, especially in August, for kids going back to school if they're looking to pick up some furniture, some knickknacks, things like that. We do have some crafters that come, some artists, so it's some really interesting stuff. Our farmers market's in full swing every Saturday all the way through October, and then coming up in September, we'll have our magical mural tour, which is 4-foot by 8-foot plywood murals all over our downtown. And then also in September, we'll have our Taste of Fall event, which is something that we did during the pandemic last year to support the restaurants, where our restaurants all do special dishes or drinks that are the Taste of Fall in Michigan. So we have a lot of fun things happening. And of course, we're already starting to plan for holiday.
So with that too, what's a session like in your office to try to come up with new events?
It's funny. We are very fortunate because as a Main Street program, we have a lot of committees that we work with. So internally, we have an open concept office here at our studio. We actually moved to a Main Street location during the pandemic to be more accessible to the community. So literally, as I'm talking to you right now, I can wave at my team. They're right on either side of me over here. But it's always just, we're thinking about things like, hey, what's this? What's that? And then we'll bring it to whatever committee it works with, which are people that are community that are business owners, property owners, residents of Rochester and outside of Rochester. And then we just kind of start throwing the ideas around and it just flows. And it's so much better not on Zoom because we can really have that synergy back in person again, which is pretty great.
Yeah, we are all looking forward to being together so much more. Christy, I have to say too, before we say goodbye to you, Christy did the Dancing with the Stars event a couple years ago. Were you so nervous?
Honestly, it was the best thing that happened when I was done because look, when we were rehearsing, everybody just was putting their heart and soul into it. And at that point, I didn't feel as nervous because I felt like we were all in it together, but it was a great experience. It was amazing.
It really is. It is fun, but it's nerve-wracking as well. You did a great job, though.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Again, Christy, where can people find out more information about some of the events you guys have coming up and trying to keep track of it all?
Sure. So you could go to our website always, which is downtownrochestermi.com. Or if you search us on Facebook, you can go to our Downtown Rochester Facebook page. Or if you want to be a little bit more interactive, join our Love Local Rochester group Facebook page, where you'll get a lot more insider tips and things that are happening in the moment.
Well, I know it's been quite the year for you and your team. So hopefully you have a great vacation plan for the summer.
November. I get to go early November before holiday hits.
Yes, because of course then it's the big holiday light show in Rochester.
Yes,
so
exactly.
Christy, it's been great having you. We so appreciate your time.
Thanks, Marty. We appreciate it.